Hey guys, how's it going? This is Jetty Wise. Today I'm going to show you how to re-hose one of these fixed pieces here on some of these older air pressure systems. Right here I've got a Titan that I've minimized a lot, and as you can see, this part here, the connection is right up against it, so to separate this I have to cut right here. Of course, that only leaves me with a stubby hose, and I'd like to have a long running hose. So I've got a bit of hosing right here that I want to use and stick on there. So I'm going to show you how I change this. It's actually pretty simple. These ones, if you look, have this little screw piece that is on here. So all we're going to do is unscrew this, take off this little stubby piece of hose, then heat up this other piece and stick it back on there, screw it back on, and this will seal it up. In some cases you might have to use a little bit of sealant, most cases you don't. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn this counterclockwise and just unscrew this. Usually it's a little bit easier to use some pliers to loosen it, then it should come right off. So it's just got a nice little screw piece. And then, so here's the stubby hose piece we want to take off. So I find the easiest way for me to take this off is I have a little butane torch right here, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of burn this up a little bit, heat it up. Try not to breathe it if you can. And what that's going to do is make this plastic real soft and pliable to where I can cut it, pretty much pull it right off. Kind of tears right off like that. And as long as you're not doing it too long, you just only need a couple seconds, just enough to kind of burn the surface like that. You can pull it right off, and then you got a nice clean piece that you can put the new hose on here. So for the next part here, I've got my leader hose that I'm going to put on there. So for this one, I first want to make sure I got a nice clean end. So I'm going to go ahead and use my X-Acto knife to make a nice flat clean end. So there we go. And then, since this is a rigid hose, especially in the older stuff like Titans and Hornets and such, this is a very rigid hose. You're not going to get it on there easy. Use a regular lighter here now, and just warm it up a little bit. Not that much, but you can see now it's much more pliable and movable. You don't want to do it too much, because of course you're going to weaken it a little bit. But what this allow you to do, it's loosen up enough. You gotta do it kind of quick before it cools off. Then you can work that hose, work it right back on there, and you can work it right down on there. So there we go, we got our hosing on. Then all we're gonna do is take our leader piece, and while it's still warm, screw that guy back on, and that's going to catch onto there and seal it back up. Go ahead and just make sure it's all the way tight, not too much. You do want to be careful with these fittings that you don't over tighten it or put too much pressure, because what will happen is these pieces will actually break right off. You can see this is from a Rapid Strike. See that busted right off there from putting too much pressure, so you want to be a little bit careful. But now that's on there, and here we go. I've got my little bit of leader hose. So there you go. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment or send me a message. Thanks for watching.